How do? Time for Spider and Olde Scooter again. This one is another format experiment, so I'll call this the Format Experiment Edition in a fit of originality. Taking advice from my advisors, someone said, well, you've been complaining about how the game is too big for you to play it competently because it covers a whole screen. So make it smaller. And besides, a lot of people are saying that they'd end up watching your face rather than the game board because you go long periods without finding a move. So they're looking at you when you're going to move. And so my face should be bigger. So this is the sort of messy format that I came up to try that, but I'll try anything. My closest advisors advise I do it. So here we go with the experimental format game. Is that what I said I was going to call it? But we're going to keep playing the game. The stuff is going on today, starting with the abscess in my tooth, right above my left incisor, right under there. Oh dear. All right, well, I'll stop it if I can. Well, I stopped it and restarted it. I didn't know I could do that. Okay, my mouth is sort of dry this afternoon, so I'll probably blurt up some words on you. The game, yes, we're going to press on with the game. I started to tell you about my abscess, and I will, but it's not the thing that you can't just put off hearing about for a few minutes. Okay, I started accidentally on Spider-Mac's left eyebrow. See that right there? I had it centered earlier, and then I touched it or something. So now, where I put the second opening, part of my silly theology about this girl, is that there are ways to open the games that she likes and rewards. So, and it has to do with symmetry. I'm not sure I can come right across here. I would get a one-suit game, so I cannot do just that. So I'm going to do a little cattywampusing and be equally around this one. See, and she gave me a wonderful game. So this is sort of better in a way from my point of view. The game is smaller. I don't have to look all over the screen to find the moves. I'm not sure it'll make me any better, but it'll let me work less hard. I think I'll do this one first. Now I got 2 3s and 2 4s. Isn't that wonderful? See, I think that's my reward for giving a symmetrical opening pattern. Yes, Lord. All right. I'll try that one first, a 9, which won't play. Anywhere that I saw it. Oh, see, there we go. So now we have a king and a queen, king, queen. So it's a fairly good opening. For a guy with an abscess in his left upper incisor, it's a breath of fresh air. Because a spider solitaire takes your mind off physical ailments as well as political dysfunction, anxiety based on reality, that sort of thing. But here I am with a hurting tooth. I cannot touch that tooth. Happily, it's not sensitive to hot or cold, so I can have a drink of water or a cup of coffee. All right, so as you know, perhaps, I don't play quite as well while I yammer as when I shut up. So I try to find a happy medium. Old joke. So for the first deal, this was not bad. I spent some time today trying to get hold of my dentist before I finally went to his website and was told quite clearly he's closed on Fridays. Today's Friday. So I called him on his cell phone, which he invites you to do, and asked him what to do. In between leaving a message and him getting back to me, I started looking up websites of emergency dental clinics. I was sort of unaware that there was such a beastie, because I've never had it that I couldn't actually get to my dentist when I had an emergency. So all this pain comes on and all that, and I call it, then he calls back, my dentist, and says, it's an abscess, everything you described, it means abscess, you got to get some antibiotics in. Are you allergic to penicillin? Penicillin, the oldest, right? Back to the goodies. You didn't use it for so long, the germs forgot how to be immune to it. So now I don't have to go to the emergency dental clinic, and I'm happy about that. But penicillin, I've been very interested in the microbiome lately. But who cares about Scooter's interest in microbiomes? Think. Go through your whole address book. Can you think of one person? Well, I can think of a couple. All right, I may tell you. I'll keep it short. So I'm sort of absent-mindedly playing now, so I may be making huge mistakes, which are sort of fun to watch. Let's see. If you are actually here because you like the game of Spider Solitaire, as do I apologize that spending more time talking about physical ailments than playing the game. So the microbiome is disrupted by antibiotics, and it gave rise to I actually sort of did this, and then I thought, oh, that's silly, but it's kind of an interesting story. I'm always looking for interesting stories. And that is, there's this powerful leader, runs what in any other context would be called a country, and he sends a message to a certain part of this country. And he says, my subjects, my citizens, I've always been truthful with you, and an alarm has arisen, and we must go to war. We will go to war in such a way that you will be civilian casualties. There's no way we can avoid it. Some of you will die, many of you will die, and I give my deepest apologies, but it is for the salvation of the nation. And if I don't do it, the nation will be threatened. Signed, your king. And that's what I said to my microbiome. I mean, I literally said it. Well, I'm writing a book about microbiomes, so that's why I'm so crazy that way. But that came down today, all starting with an abscess. I have to take penicillin. Poor devils down there, billions will die. As I'm dying as a game player here, not making a lot of progress. Or as my sister Mandy would say, Sister Mandy, a little older than that now, it looks just the same. I don't play aggressively enough, saith my sister. I don't know how. I think what she calls aggressive is too hard for me to do. Takes back looks at many more options than I do. Does things like go back halfway through the game and start from there, which you can do. It's a game which you do. And make better decisions. And she can win a lot. She wins more than I do. Of course, she wins more than I do, too, by a lot. A hole. I love holes. The wild card of the game. Now the trick is what's best to put in the hole. There's cultural disagreement on that question. So that doesn't have much to do with the hole, but was that better than this? I think so. I have no rational reason for thinking so, but I feel so. People who have the kind of memory where they can count cards, the kind of discipline, they could figure out lots more about this game than a simple-minded man mathematically. statistics was a big part of my business. I had this company, and we used statistics all the time to analyze data. I, who had never had a single class in statistics, became competent in kind of the functional side, certainly not the theoretical or the mathematical side. Way too. Same reason I don't play four-suit spider solitaire, to think too much. I know the limits of my thinking capacities. I discovered them in college in differential equations. That was it. So I went into journalism. Or radio, but there's a lot of journalism in there, way more than people do now. Radio stations, nearly all radio stations worth a hoot in a market bigger than a podunk, had a news department. You know, maybe it was one guy and one part-time guy, but they were dedicated to getting the news, locally and nationally. There were only, 3.5 networks. Radio was different. I was involved in radio in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. After 2000, I did no more radio. So I have opinions on radio. Look, we're very close to scoring. We have a double 10 block. So I can take advantage of the normal search and place mode. I did that. If there was any place that 10 could go, it would have gone. And there's not, and it didn't, which makes eminent sense. I've got an 8, I'll put it on the 9. Can't think of a reason not to do that. That's a ruse. I didn't see it. So, discussing biomes with my son Patrick, I'm going to run out of time. This format has way more talking in it, I'm afraid. And if I want to talk longer than 15 minutes, which is too long as it is, I have to buy another program. And I'm very cheap. All right, I'm just going to hush up. Next time I'll go through kombucha and Whole Foods and Amazon buying Whole Foods and what Amazon and Whole Foods will offer as a product. You know, this whole new competitive field of delivered groceries. But I don't have time to talk about it at length now. I can't do that. So how am I going to put that 10? I can't score without moving that 10. Desperation. Road. Alright. It's not going to happen. I'm right now losing $94. So changing the format didn't make me a better player, and it made the game go on way too long. So forgive me for all that. And it is kind of fun playing with this format, trying to decide how the heck you do something this silly. So, from Spider and Olde Scooter, wait, hit on the off switch. Where's the dinky off switch? Right here, I guess. Yeah. Adios.